What you see behind me is one half of an old sofa, and everyone in their right mind would just chuck it away, which unfortunately suggests that I'm not in my right mind, because today I'm gonna tear this thing into pieces to see what's inside and to reclaim every single bit of material that might still come in useful. I'll let you decide whether I lost my marbles or not, but I think it's a good idea cause there seems to be quite a bit of wood in there. So first off, we've got lots and lots of staples all around the perimeter of the underneath, fixing the fabric to the wooden frame. You can see it's wooden here at the corners where the feet used to go. Once I've removed all of these, we can get our first look at the inside. This stuff here is probably just there to hide the fact that there is nothing inside for the most part. Ready for this? Oh my god, that is a mess! Look at that! It looks like they just dumped all the leftover materials in there before closing it up. There are pieces of foam lying around loosely in there. Like this? Wow! So the sides are made of chipboard. This thing is chipboard as well, but here's wood. And this is MDF. Even more chipboard, and lots of garbage, basically. Cool. Now we know why there was fabric on the bottom. It was just to keep all the garbage in. Honestly, I think that is hilarious. Now, unfortunately, it seems like I've got even more staples to remove to get all this fabric off, so before I do that, I'll clean out all that garbage. So that was about everything I could just pull out like that. Everything else is stapled into place. So let's get back to removing staples. I think it's fair to say that they used quite a few staples on that sofa. And just when you think there can't be even more staples, there most certainly is. Interestingly, this decorative rim going up here was made using plastic tube, and hidden underneath there is more staples. Black staples actually to blend in a little bit better. And then there is more staples underneath here, fastening the upholstery to the frame. So once I removed all of these and cut those strings, because those strings are holding down the upholstery as well. Once I did all that, I should theoretically be able to lift off the entire upholstery off the frame. Let's hope that works. So that should be it, I think. May take a little bit of persuasion. Lots and lots of foam. And I don't really know what this stuff is for. So the area designed to sit on is actually made very similar to a normal spring mattress with foam on top and the springy core in the middle, the usual array of springs, sitting on this thick felt-like stuff. I hope that is recycled clothing, which is sitting on this black stuff, and underneath that there is just these wavy springs. And the backrest is basically just these very wide elastic bands stretched and stapled onto the frame. So the last step before finally disassembling the frame itself is to remove all that stuff, and there is still foam glued to the frame here and back here. Underneath this foam we've got cardboard, obviously held on using more staples. And one thing I really don't get is why the hell did they have to use literally 24 staples to attach this damn piece of fabric? Literally 24. I counted them. It's 24 staples. I mean, it's not even like there would ever be any significant amount of stress on that part. 6 would have been sufficient. I know, I'm kind of getting carried away there, but I mean, what's the point of it? Their staple gun must have gone crazy or something. Anyway, the wavy springs are hooked into these plastic strips that are held on by even longer and thicker staples for a change. And speaking of more staples, there is more staples here on the back. And I don't know why there is these pieces of MDF stapled to the frame either, but I can remove them. Talk about overusing staples, look at this thing. No, more staples, why so many? And also you can see they put these cardboard squares over the T-nuts for the feet to prevent those from popping out. I'm down to the bare frame now, and to get it apart I'll need slightly bigger tools because they put it together using really long staples. And funnily enough, they hit the wrong spot quite often, like here and here and here, although that is not gonna make it easier to disassemble because they just use several of these on top of each other to make up for it. Now, before I start thrashing this thing into pieces, I need to put it onto the floor or I might damage my table saw. Well, everything's finally in pieces now. I removed the last staples and I can tell you it's likely gonna be the first and the last couch I'm ever gonna dismantle. My hand still hurts from grabbing the snips all the time. So let me show you what I got. So first of all, we've got the wood. That's what I initially came for, although most of it is chipboard unfortunately, but we do have quite some nice beams over there. They're all regular spruce with lots and lots of holes in it, and they were kind enough to glue these blocks onto the chipboard as well, so I had to get kind of destructive there. All in all, it's definitely not worth removing thousands and thousands of staples. Then we've got this big sheet of MDF, or it's not technically MDF, it's this kind of cardboard-like substance used to make cheap drawer bottoms, so that's probably what I'm gonna do with it as well. The wavy springs are quite cool, although I don't know anything to do with them, so they'll probably have to go. Then we've got these metal brackets and some T-nuts and bolts. The foam obviously gonna keep that. Who knows, someone might actually need it in the next 10 years. And I also pulled this little plastic tube out of the decorative rim I talked about earlier. This array of springs is quite intriguing. I guess you could cut it in half and make like 2 armchairs out of it, but I don't need it, so it'll have to go. And finally, the outer fabric is useless as well, so I'm also going to throw that one away. And obviously everything I don't need is going to be recycled nonetheless. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Hope you enjoyed, even if that's not exactly what you subscribed for, but I do dumb stuff once in a while, so see you soon. According to my understanding of engineering, they could have used half of that. It would have still been a sofa, and it wouldn't have fallen apart either.